Yeah, right. Yes, I want to continue even though this meeting's being recorded. So anyway.
Right. I was gonna say we're at week 3 and I still have a mostly full bar behind me. So
I'm really proud of you.
You're doing good, buddy.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
I'll cheers to that.
You're drinking the beers. I've got some wine.
Hello, beers. Cheers,
Red
everybody.
Lid.
So tonight I thought we would kind of switch gears a little bit. I think everybody is sick of hearing the words coronavirus and COVID and social distancing and all that stuff. Let's think back. Let's hark back to some fun times in our lives, some great events, some good things that we've done.
Got to pull people on the family theme. The Oi the Way Glenn Miller play.
Yeah, exactly. Camping. I absolutely love camping. Now, Lauren, I know you're not really a big fan.
Not a camper.
Dave shaking his hand.
No, my idea of roughing it is not staying on the concierge level. Sorry.
Wonder what the poor people are doing. I absolutely, I love it. I think it's great. My son loves it too. I took him camping for the first time when he was 3. It was his 3rd birthday, and he just had an absolute blast. He's been in love with it ever since. But so yeah, there's some good camping stories out there. If you guys don't have a story to share as far as that goes, I'm sure you've been to a bonfire.
I mean, I do have one.
Yeah. So you've been camping before. You've got to have a story.
No. I have been to campgrounds. I always leave before. You have to be out by a certain time or you're trapped. It's kind of like a Saw thing.
Right.
There's one. My in-laws are really into the whole camping thing. Like they've got the camper, the trailer, the Winnebago thingam, whatever it is, like the big thing with wheels.
Big RV.
Yeah. See, now I've just got diehard. The police went and got themselves an RV. So there's this place that they go, and I had a Buttercup Beach, maybe, if I recall correctly. And I actually left a Yelp review that had this exact text in it, which is, if you ever wanted to know what women with tattoos look like when they're 9 months pregnant, it's the beach to go to.
Everybody knocked up and tatted up.
God!
It was the people watching at this place was just amazing. And like I said, and I okay, you know what, go out on the boat and hang out for a while, throw the football around, build a bonfire. I've got a fire pit in my backyard. I'll cook hot dogs on it and that. And apparently I'm a great camp cook. Like my father-in-law kept trying to get me to stay longer because I do well when it comes to like cooking over an open fire and I don't burn shit. But no, that is not. So it's a bank job. It's in and out and then go.
I'm a sleep in a tent kind of guy. I'll get a blow up mattress, but I love sleeping in tents. Oh my God, so much fun. Hey, to each their own. If you don't like camping, you don't have to come with me, man. You're missing out on a good thing.
Everybody's got their own thing.
Exactly. But let me tell you a little story about a couple of years ago. About 8 or 9 friends of mine and I all went up to the Rifle River. And that's a big destination spot for camping all summer long. You can rent tubes and kayaks and canoes and do like a little lazy river thing where you're just paddling in the sunshine and drinking beers and doing Jello shots and basically running amok on the river is the whole point of it. And everybody is. There's just like hundreds and thousands of people. I don't know what this summer's going to look like, but I would love to go back. Anyways, so a bunch of friends and I, they're like, we go every year. It's going to be awesome. You should come. I'm like, yep, I got the gear. I grabbed my tent and sleeping bag, pillows, all that kind of stuff. We loaded up a couple of vans full of people and headed on up to the Rifle River. Somebody made like a cooler full of Jello shots, and there was plenty of whiskey and plenty of beer. So we get up there and we set up camp and we start walking around the campground. And there was a group of probably 12 or 15 ladies around the same age as all of us, like anywhere from late 20s to like early 40s. Yeah. And it was like, oh, we do a girls' weekend, every year. We come up here and we camp at the same spot and stuff like that. So we made friends with them, obviously. And there was bonfires and there was drinking and there was, cavorting and stuff like that. Then the next day we went paddling down the river. So we get out to the river and we start early, probably 10 o'clock, and didn't pull in and get done till about 5. So it was like 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. drinking, like straight drinking on the river, going hard, like slamming beers, doing Jello shots. We brought snacks. We had everything. And you're coming around the bends and there's other people out and you're kind of like, you know, getting close to them. We're all in like a big caravan, big group, you know, some of them were tied together and some of them weren't and stuff like that. My buddy Paulie had these excellent hats. They were made of leather. And so you're wearing a leather hat and you think, oh, it's hot and it's sunny. You just dip it in the water and, you know, and cool yourself off like that. Oh, they were amazing. He had a tricorn one and a baseball hat one, like handmade leather hats. They were
nice.
Awesome. Yeah, so I got to wear one of those. Anyways, we're cruising around the bend in the river. And like I said, there's a bunch of people out. Some being friendly. You're saying hi to everybody. You know, hey, what are you guys drinking? What's going on? Hey, what's your name? This and that. You know, but we're mostly sticking to ourselves.
Right.
I come up on this one young lady, and you know me. I'm super friendly. I'll try and, like, you know, chat with anybody and stuff like that. All I said to this girl was, hey, how's it going? And she immediately like turned on the bitch switch. She was just like nasty to me. She was like, fuck you, blah, blah, screaming at me. I'm like, whoa, sorry. And, you know, me with my big dumb mouth, instead of just letting it go and being like, oh, all right, whatever, you know, and moving along and forgetting about it. I was like, well, fuck you then, bitch. Oh, well, she did not like that. And so she goes paddling over to her little campsite, and all of a sudden this big bear of a guy comes out into the water right straight at me with a look on his face like he's gonna fucking kill me. And he was like 6'5", 280. I'm like, shit, me and my big mouth, you know, what have I fucking done? So he's getting closer. He's like coming at me. And so I'm kind of like, not in a tube at the time, or I got out of my tube is what it was. And I'm feeling on the riverbed, and there's like softball sized rocks down there.
Oh,
so I'm
yeah.
like, well, like if this big dude gets his hands on me, he could kill me. Like, he's going to drown me. He's going to beat my ass, something. So I grabbed 2 big rocks. And when he got about 10 feet away, I stood up and made sure that he could see the rocks. And he just kind of looked at me, and I was like, like, I don't want to do this either, buddy.
Yeah.
So I just kind of backed away. He let it go. And I was like, oh, man. And plus, I was hammered drunk.
Was it like her boyfriend or something?
Probably, something like that. But, you know, I didn't hear everything. She went over to the side and told him, and he came running after me. And I was like, oh, fuck, here we go.
That's the thing, is I don't understand. I'm such a personable, like, outgoing person that, like, I talk to people regardless of what sex they are, and I expect that they're going to be, like, nice and cordial back, I guess.
Me too, but the lesson learned there was, like, if somebody's going to be super rude to you, if a stranger is super rude to you for whatever reason, just because you're trying to say hi to them, trying to be nice, just let it go. You know, don't get in any kind of argument, confrontation with them. It's not worth it. It definitely wasn't.
Absolutely not.
Crisis was averted. I caught up with my friends again, and, you know, we had a good laugh about it. And it was like, my heart was beating pretty fast. I'm like, let me watch my mouth when I'm out here drinking. Anyways, we get back in, we all have some dinner, and we're hanging out with the girls again. And we're over at their campfire, and they're a riot. They've been tubing and kayaking and drinking all day too. So by this day, you know, the sun goes down, you've been drinking all day long. You know, it's like
out in the heat.
Everybody is getting, everybody was just getting stupid. So I think there was a game, I think they were playing Truth or Dare or something like that. So yeah, we're playing Truth or Dare, and somebody's like, oh, I dare you to put on a dress. I was like, I'll put on a fucking dress. I'll definitely put on.
I wouldn't question you putting on a dress at all.
Like, no problem. So,
challenge accepted immediately.
Oh, yeah. Totally, just like I stripped down butt ass naked, you know, like at this campfire, you know, bonfire in front of a whole bunch of girls. Everybody's wolf whistling at me and stuff like that. Slide into this dress, and I'm like dancing around, and everybody was losing their shit. They were laughing.
Whose dress was it?
I don't know.
Just one of the girls?
Yeah, it might have been the girl that I ended up hooking up with, because obviously, you know, everybody pairs up. And, well, not everybody. A few people paired up. But yeah, it turned out that she lived in Ferndale, like not far from me. Yeah, and so, we got busy. We hooked up. My buddy said it sounded like a walrus eating macaroni and cheese when they walked by my tent.
What the fuck?
If that doesn't paint a hilarious picture for you. Like, Jesus, is there a walrus eating macaroni and cheese in there?
Oh, God.
I had to stop and, like, just start cracking up for a second. But we actually, we hit it off, and we hung out, like, a few more times after that, too, since she lived in Ferndale. I was like, oh, hey, like, you know, it was a little regular thing for a while, so it was kind of nice.
Yeah, even if you just meet up for drinks or something.
it was totally chill like that. And, you know, it's like, it's Detroit. Everybody knows everybody. So it turned out that she knew some friends of mine, and I, you know, oh, okay. Like, yeah, you hooking up with her? Yeah, I remember her. Blah, 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 this and that. I went like 3 months without talking to her. Ran into her at a bar and was like, oh, hey, what's going on? And I ended up going home with them that night too. It was like, just pick up where we left off. That's cool.
I did have like some pretty decent bonfires in my day, though. Some pretty good ragers. Nothing like too crazy, but I do remember my friend Andy, who we used to call him Mr. Wiggles, because he would get so drunk that he would, like, you know, be like wiggling at you.
Yes, start like shimmy shake. Let me tell you something else.
He would always just be like, hey. You're like, all right, guy. He did have like his boyfriend over at the time, and I think it was like my first time or second time meeting him. And, you know, we're all like drunk, we're all like having a good time, we're hanging out like in the garage next to the bonfire or whatever, smoking some weed or whatever. Right. And I remember his boyfriend started like puking like really bad outside in the bush. And Andy like was standing behind him, like with his like hand on his back, like rubbing his back, just being like, I just don't think this is gonna work out. Oh. And like breaking up with him while he's like puking into the bushes. Oh no.
Breaking up with him while he's throwing up, like, that's so harsh.
It was pretty funny because I was like sitting there just like, I don't know, I've always been kind of like the mom, like I drink, but I don't get so drunk that I'm like the one doing crazy shit. And so I was just kind of like sitting there observing all the crazy shit happening, and that was like the one thing I like honed in on, and I was like, I'm gonna watch this mess happen.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of the last straw sometimes when somebody's like throwing up drunk and you're just like, you know what, I've had enough of this. Like, we're breaking up. That's it. Breaking up with somebody while they're throwing up,
like literally while he's throwing up into a bush, just like, it's just not gonna work out.
It's not. He knew what he wanted. It was not that anymore.
So you have a just so you know, you have a couple of viewers from our other shows that have hopped in.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, you've got Courtney, who is a part of the V Life show that's on Friday nights, and apparently she just blew my mind because I did not picture her as a camping type at all.
Oh, she likes camping?
Yeah. And then you've got, I think we
you don't have to wear flannel and have a big beard to like camping, you know.
Really, I thought that was a rule.
It kind of.
I've only ever gone camping in like RVs and stuff, or like a cabin, so it's not really camping.
It is. I mean, like if you go somewhere up north, and up north can be, you know, like here,
right?
Like you don't have to go that far up north. If you go up north and there's a bonfire and people telling stories, somebody's got an acoustic guitar.
That's what I assume. Like when you say like, camping, I'm like bonfire. That's basically all I think of is bonfire. Maybe cooking over a bonfire and then.
When you say camping, I think every horror movie I've ever seen.
Right. and bugs. I don't like bugs.
Yeah, I don't like the bugs either. Nobody likes the bugs, but I mean, you know, it's like they have sprays for that. They have sprays that don't smell too bad. That, you know, you deal with it. You're gonna get a couple of mosquito bites. No big whoop. I like roughing it, but I also like RVs. Those are fun. I wouldn't mind a cabin in the woods.
Like if I could get like the John Madden travel bus, like, you know, the one where like the thing, like it's almost like a transformer where like the sides bump out.
Right.
There's like a satellite dish on the top, and like that like would
the tour bus.
I believe they call it glamping.
Glamping.
Yeah, you call it glamping. Yeah.
That's all I've ever done is glamping. For sure.
Yeah, however you want to do it. It's, you know, most of the people that you meet are going to be awesome. They're going to be so nice. There was a couple when I took my son camping when he was 3, and they were like, "Hey, we're about to pack up and head on out of here. We've got a whole bunch of extra firewood. You guys want it?" I was like, "Oh my God, thank you. That's so nice." They're like, "Yeah, your stash looks kind of light, and it's going to be cold tonight. We want to make sure that little guy has a real good time." I was like, "How sweet," you know, just like totally nice people. You meet all kinds of great ones. You meet girls that want to make macaroni and cheese noises with you, you know? I mean, that's a good camping trip. Like,
right.
That's definitely up there on the list. And not getting murdered.
Someone, like, fall in the fire? I always feel like I know somebody that falls in the fire.
Yeah. I actually, my buddy was having a bonfire over at his house, and we were drinking. Gin and tonics, and he went, and I'm like, are we gonna get this fire started or what, man? It's like, it's getting cold out, you know, it's like, it's night, it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, come on, start this fire. So he goes and dumps a whole bunch of gasoline on it. And I'm like, when I start a fire, I don't use anything like that. You know, I won't even use lighter fluid. I just get some newspaper and a bunch of dried twigs, get your kindling going, and then, you know, build up your fire. Do it the manly way, right? Now he goes and he douses the firewood with a bunch of gasoline, and then I go and I'm like, I'm sick of waiting for you guys to light this damn fire. So I go over to light it, and he's like, no. And I'm like, you know, I'm trying to reach with my lighter really far away, lit it. He's like, no, at the last second, too late. Fucking fireball singed off my eyebrows, singed a bunch of my hair. It felt like I had the worst sunburn ever. Like, I burned the shit out of myself. I was like, whoa. And I mean, like, I jumped back, obviously, but you're not faster than fire. It doesn't work like that. I'm lucky I didn't die. I'm lucky I didn't catch on fire. But it had been like 10 or 15 minutes, you know, but I guess his point was he was just going to throw a lit cigarette butt into it or throw something from, 10 feet away because it was a fireball. It's like, whoops-a-daisy, egg on my face.
If you're, fire and alcohol usually lead to bad things happening.
It's really dumb, man. But yeah, I learned my lesson on that. Like, I don't fuck with the gasoline. I don't need to make a fire. I'm good without it. But if somebody else is, I'm staying way the hell away.
Well, God, there was that one, when was it, like 2-3 years ago, some college, they had built like the world's largest like pyramid fire pit of wood thing, and then put a bunch of like gasoline in to get it like lit properly. Because I mean, it was like literally like logs all leaning against each other. And when they lit it, it exploded.
Oh no!
And like injured a bunch of people because like shards of wood went everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that's insane.
Yeah, like people don't understand gasoline is a concussive, like explosive kind of thing.
Yeah, there was a story. I forget if it was downriver or just like somewhere around here a couple of years ago, and somebody died doing that. You know, they built a big bonfire, put gasoline on it, and then the explosion like killed somebody. So be careful, kids. Do fire the old-fashioned way. You don't have to rub 2 sticks together or do anything like that, but just
form a teepee.
Get some good kindling, make a little teepee, and light it up. Make sure you got plenty of beers. In case you do hurt yourself in the fire, then you can numb your pain with a little alcohol.
I'm getting nagged by Tammy that we don't have the video streaming through our app, and I was like, yeah, well, that's my downtime project that I'm kind of working on. So go to the Facebook page. Shut up.
There's all kinds of ways to watch this. It's going to be up for a while too. Like last week, our show last week kept on getting watches and views throughout the week.
How it's supposed to work.
Yeah, exactly. I like this format, but I miss you guys. I miss the bugs and stuff. I know, right?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, totally fine. Dog barking in a Facebook video? That's just awesome. She's like, no, I'm staying.
Oh, and Tammy says thanks. She's never going to be able to eat mac and cheese again, by the way.
Oh, poor baby.
What about mac and cheese noises?
Tammy doesn't want to eat mac and cheese anymore. Sorry about that. I ruined mac and cheese.
But it's delicious.
It is.
Even though it sounds gross.
And how do you think we all got here? From somebody making macaroni and cheese sounds.
Please no.
I was gonna say I have to admit that one hits me every time you say it. I'm like,
I don't want to think about my parents having sex.
Yeah, please no. I'd appreciate if we just skip over that part.
Yeah, my parents don't even like each other, so I can't imagine.
I think my parents like each other. They're divorced, but I think they like each other.
That's nice.
I feel like a lot of parents don't like each other right about now.
Yeah, everybody's cooped up. Well, on the opposite side of that, being single is pretty fucking lonely these days.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, we'll be back to camping and bonfires soon enough.
Right.
Even having a significant other, like I can't go over and see him whenever I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's still.
If you're not quarantined together, it kind of sucks.
Exactly.
Huh?
And I'm not.
That would be worse. Better than being quarantined with somebody that you hate, though. I know somebody who's like halfway in the middle of breaking up with somebody right now.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Awful. Like, oh, I can't even imagine what that would be like. Just waiting on this whole shit to blow over so that they can move on with their life. But,
yeah, you think you're stressed out every time Whitmer announces an extension?
Yeah, right. When my ex and I broke up, we lived together for a good year and a half with me just sleeping on the couch. So I know what that's all about. Yeah.
Nah.
Hanging around for the kids. Well, that got depressing real quick. Yay.
I have no kids, so I'm doing pretty good.
The kids are great, man. They are. I took my son camping last year in the backyard. It's like, we've got a fire pit. I set up the tent in the backyard, and he would come over, and we would just camp in the backyard. He loved it. Thought it was great.
Oh, that's fun.
All the comforts of home. You can go inside, take a shower, use the bathroom, eat your food, whatever you want to do. Well, we cooked out on the fire, but yeah, it was great.
See, okay, so now that you might be able to talk me into.
Yeah.
Camping in the backyard?
Yeah.
You can come over and go camping in my backyard, Dave.
Like I said, I got the fire pit. I've got, oh my God. So here's, today was just like one of my first world problem days. So, and I have to share, we have the pool, in the backyard. And so apparently, the lady that opens and maintains my pool is not classified as an essential worker. And I would like to debate that. So I spent a good chunk of this afternoon, reading tutorials and watching how-to videos on how to open a saltwater pool, and ordering a bunch of chemicals off of Amazon. So I figure A, I'm on a watch list, and B, I'm probably going to go ahead and blow up my backyard next week.
A saltwater pool.
Be careful.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
I didn't even know that was an option.
Neither did I until this was getting built, and they were like, "Well, you can do this, you can do that." And I'm like, "Really? Like, what's the deal?" And they're like, "Oh, well, it's actually better for you because it's you don't have to worry about you don't have to keep dumping chlorine into it, because the salt breaks down and does its own chlorine thing, and so yeah, I mean it's but yeah now I have to figure out how to open the damn thing, and that's not I'm not really a manual labor kind of guy. You guys know me. Like I'm not. This probably will not go well, and I'm sure I will have great stories. I may have some chemical burns visible next week.
Oh, jeez.
For the show.
It's still a little cold outside, so you don't have to open it now, do you?
Yeah.
Dude, I have a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old that are going batshit crazy in their house. Yes, I have to open the pool.
You were ready to open the pool. You're like, it's 50 degrees outside. Go swimming. I don't care.
Yeah, that's like, well, it's got a heater. It'll be nice and warm.
Oh, there you go.
So this is my friend Jessica. She's
Hey,
quarantining
Jessica.
with me, and she also works in the service industry. Right now we are talking about like bonfire stories, or like, being drunk as fuck. Camping,
Dave's
glamping
pool.
even.
Ooh.
Do you have any stories?
I
Crazy
told-
drunk stories?
What crazy drunk stories? We told Jack and Millie a story the other day that when we were late teenagers, we were having a bonfire and didn't want to go back and tell our parents that we were out of wood. So all of us girls got together and burned our bras just so we could stay out there longer.
I like it.
That's always a good one. As an adult, they cost too much now. So
Yeah, you're like, we're not burning this shit.
yeah,
Yeah, no.
I'd rather stick my
What are
foot
they,
in-
like $80 a pop now? $50 a pop at least?
Like 50.
If you want like a
It's
nice one, yeah, to last.
Yeah.
I don't have that problem.
Well, there's no male underwear that's that expensive. Like that's just rude.
Right?
It's super rude because actually the more expensive they are, the less fabric is actually on them.
Yeah.
Of course.
So, if you want one that covers everything, then it's like $5. But then if you want one that's all like lacy and pretty and like basically non-existent, then it's like $100.
Rude.
Rude.
Extremely.
Guess what gender is behind that industry?
It's like, I'm going to hit them. I'm going to take them for everything they're worth.
I feel like they're probably like, if we cost or make them cost too much, they just won't buy them or wear them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's like the way to push us into all being like nipples out.
I'm fine with that.
See?
Won't hear any complaints over here. They're your boobs. You take care of them however you want to, ladies. That's the way I look at it.
Appreciate that.
I try.
Yeah, like, what kind of a guy goes around telling girls, yeah, you should do this, you should do that. Wear this bra, wear that bra.
Every
The
I
guy.
was like, every one of them.
The kind of guy who goes to a bar and is like, you should smile more, sweetheart. You'd be so pretty if you
Oh my
smile.
God. You should
That
smile more.
guy.
You're so pretty when you smile.
Yeah.
That's smiling for a reason. Yeah, that's the fake smile. Like I get
Oh,
paid
yeah.
to smile. Or the laugh. Yeah. Or the laugh, like everything they say is funny.
The worst.
What can I get you though? Do you want something to drink?
You're so hilarious.
I hate when they're like, what time do you get off? It's like, oh, really late. And they're like, oh, I'll
Yeah.
wait. Like,
Yeah,
no, please don't.
Yeah.
the bouncers won't let anybody stay in after we close. Sorry.
Oh God. All the excuses you come up with.
They're like, we'll wait. We're just going to smoke in the car. Like, no thanks.
Yeah, okay. Or you could just go home and leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah,
But they always give you that before they tip you, right? You know?
right.
I know. You have to play into it until the tip's on the table.
Oh, well. Story of my life.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the life of being a bartender. Is you're almost forced, unlike any other industry, to be nice to people, whether you want to or not. At least until the transaction is concluded, and then you can like just either A, talk shit with your coworkers, which is what everybody always did, or and which, you know, and see, like that's the thing that I don't think people understand as much is how much communication there is in the bar / serving / restaurant world. Like how much communication happens between venues, let alone between staff at the same place. Like
Oh,
if,
yeah.
if you're a dick somewhere, the entire town knows about it before
Yeah.
the next night you go out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Or if the place that you work at sucks, everybody's gonna know about it. You know, like, oh, you're working there. Ooh, sorry, I feel bad for you.
Yeah, we
I
all
got my
pretty
job.
much like look out for each other and tell each other everything that's happening.
When I got the job at
Bosses
Punch
like really
Bowl,
well,
everybody was like, dude, like, why? I'm so sorry. I was like, I need the money. It's good money, I'm sure. And then a couple months later, I was like, yeah, this place sucks. So
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
it always does. I'm honestly on the fence on whether I'm going to go back to the service industry after this.
You know, I've seen a lot of posts like that, and I guess
Yeah.
that's a good question. I mean, not that we want to get all down in the dumps or anything, but I mean, like I've seen a lot of people that are saying, hey, and it's not just the service industry. Like even people that are in other jobs are saying, you know what? Yeah, if not, like this has been an eye opener. I don't think this is what I want to do when I grow up anymore.
Right. Well, the whole world's going to change. We're all going to have to figure out different ways to earn money, different ways to do things, different things to do with our lives. And
Oh, for sure.
frankly, like I wasn't getting a whole lot of joy out of it the last, few jobs that I had in the industry. The job that I had for 2 weeks before we all got quarantined and shut down was all right.
Right.
But it had its annoyances too. It was like, the money's really good. I'll probably go back, but it's hard, man. Just like
It's hard to leave.
Yeah.
It's hard to leave. Like it takes everything in me to be like, I'm going to go back to this place that I know has totally fucked me. You know, like I have no security whatsoever, like from this. And so going back is really hard, but then the amount of money I make in a night drives me to go back.
Right.
You know?
You're like,
So it's like,
where else can I
Such
go?
a trap.
they were fucking me, but I was fucking myself too. So
Well, people like to fuck.
right. But I'm going to school after this, so or hopefully, they actually, extended everything through the time I was supposed to start school. So I'm not sure if that's even happening anymore. But, that's exactly the reason why I wanted to go to school, was so that way I could kind of start making my segue out of it and doing it for fun like I used to, and not just as my sole job.
Yeah, when it's your only gig, it's tough.
Right.
But again, that's how I've survived this whole shutdown, is that I had 2 other jobs while bartending, and I held on to them. I never quite got rid of them, so that it was like, okay, I got something I can fall back on, and they're both essential. So everybody else is like, oh, I'm so bored, I'm going crazy, I'm not doing anything. I'm like, I'm working 7 days a week, I'm busy all the time. Like, I don't have time for anything lately. I got time for you guys.
Yeah.
Always got time for the podcast.
That's right.
That's right.
Number 1.
Uh-oh. Ming Chen has joined the chat.
Yay!
Hey, what's
Hi,
up?
Ming. We love you, Ming. We
We
miss
sure
you.
do. We definitely miss you. Well, it's kind of hard to miss Ming because he does like 30 Facebook lives a day, I think. Like he's on every podcast. I see him all over my Facebook feed. But that's
I'm
what we love
commenting
about
all
you,
over
buddy.
his
Like,
shit all the time on
so
there.
cool. He's really doing a fantastic job, like keeping people connected, keeping people together. So
He is
A plus,
definitely
buddy.
keeping
We love
himself
you.
busy.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it.
not the slow time. What y'all sipping on over there?
Whiskey.
She's got whiskey. I've
Yeah.
got wine.
Like
Got
it.
red wine. Yum.
Red wine in a pink glass.
Yeah.
A little
gotta.
whiskey to go with it.
Just seen her favorite
My
stuff.
stash is getting low. Our little our Zoom chat last night, I kind of depleted my stash. Only got a little bit of my scotch.
That was
Playing
a
your
long heavy one.
background.
That was. Well, not just, I mean, just talking about, things that are changing. I mean, so you can't you can't just like call up your friends or message your friends and be like, hey, let's go meet at the bar.
Right.
Which is driving me batshit crazy. And so like, that's one of the purposes of Zoom that, people, I don't think like me, I think every couple days I've set up a virtual bar night and hey,
Yep.
let's just get together and hang out. And sometimes it's a half hour and sometimes it's 7 hours. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
The
I've
point
been on
is,
some pretty
you're
lengthy
still-
ones with you.
Yeah, the point is, you're still like at the bar with your friends drinking.
Right.
It's,
Right.
nobody's breathing on one another. And
Well,
nobody's going home with anybody at the end.
right.
Which might be a good thing in some cases.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, it keeps you social. It like lets
It
you
does.
see other people's faces and actually, stay caught up with everyone and that kind of stuff, which, I mean, like I said, for me has been a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine if this happened 20 years ago. We'd have been bored as shit.
Oh,
my
dude,
gosh.
I'd have been dead by now.
It probably would have been all video
100%
games.
time.
Just playing lots of video games instead.
Right.
I don't play video games anymore, so I don't have time anyways.
Well, what are you
Lauren,
doing
what-
with your time then?
Working.
Lucky.
Yeah, right. I do feel lucky.
I'm not.
Too
I'm playing
blessed
video
to be
games.
Pretty
She's
good at
starting
it.
her Patreon Twitch channel.
Yeah,
I
right.
did
Are you
start
on
a Twitch channel.
You did start a Twitch. You should promote that shit.
I did. Yeah.
Get people listen. Get people
I don't
watching. Is that what it is?
understand it yet.
They watch you play video games, right?
Is that what it is?
Well, yeah, they can. That's like what it started with, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I wanted to play The Sims and watch my friends watch me playing The Sims.
Which is it's such a bizarre world because I've got a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old, and like there are times where I feel like they spend more time watching someone else play a
Oh
game
my
they
God,
have,
yes.
and I don't I just can't wrap my head around it. Like I get it, because I remember back in the old days, you try to look up cheat codes and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So if you're trying to maybe figure out how to if somebody has a video that says, hey, here's the walkthrough to get to something that's super rare and hard and hidden, fine. But no, especially my 10-year-old will just sit there and watch. If I let him, he would all day, all night. He would just sit there on YouTube watching these, Fortnite, whatever other, videos. And I'm just, okay, dude, you do you. Cool.
Yeah.
Whatever
My
you're
son does
into.
that. He posts his phone up in front of his game and plays on his game and listens to these guys yell at each other back and forth about some other game that he's not even playing, completely different. Every so often I hear the swear words and I'm like, was that you? No, it was the phone. I'm like, oh, you're
No,
so
Mom.
lucky. Yeah. I hear the F this and F that and get the F out of my way. I'm like, Jesus.
I'm being good, Mom.
Yeah, it's not me. It's not me. But yeah, he does that all the time. He doesn't answer my text messages or phone calls because he's too busy.
Well, so my
watching
nephew, plays video games, and my brother will tell me, he's like, look, dude, if you're not, the whole point of a video game is to enjoy it. If you're screaming and swearing and freaking out all the time, it doesn't sound like you're having a good time. Maybe
Right.
take a break.
Right?
Chill out.
Use a different game.
Oh, goddamn game!
I mean, we've all rage quit games. Let's not pretend that's not a thing.
Oh, for sure.
Let's not pretend we haven't.
With the sore spot on your thumb and forefinger from the Atari system, back in the day.
Right? Yeah, that blister on this thumb. That was
Yeah.
because you kept hammering on the. Yeah.
do it. I taught my mom to play Sonic the Hedgehog when that first came out, and she was one of those where she'd do this.
Oh, like
moving the whole
have to
controller.
move
I'm
it
like,
with her.
it's not helping. She said, it is, though. It's not. If it makes you feel better, then do it. That's fine.
She'd be good with a Wii.
Yeah, and then I got it for her, and she, it's not pretty. It's not pretty.
Nah.
She does full body movements instead of the hand.
That would be
I
a
just
good
got
toy.
my boyfriend's kids. I gave him my old Wii.
All
They've
right.
never played any video games. I was like, all right, I've got a Wii that you can have. I've got 3 Wiis you can have.
The Wii's kind of fun. I can
Yeah.
get the Wii. Yeah.
I mean, they're
Get a
young,
little-
so they can just play like, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong Country Reloaded or whatever the fuck it's called.
little tennis action.
Little tennis, some bowling.
Yeah, I like the sporty ones for the Wii. That's fun. I've played it a couple of times. It's weird. You gotta get used to it, but once you do, like, you get the hang of it.
Right.
We'll get the hang of it a little bit.
You get it.
Man, all that talk about bonfires earlier. I really want to have a bonfire right now.
We've had a couple bonfires so far, but we're trying to keep it low key. I've heard a lot of people calling on people having gatherings, and I'm like, it's just me and my roommates, but still, I
Yeah,
don't want people to think that we're trying to be disrespectful.
I don't know. I did fires all last summer just by myself. I'll have a bonfire by myself. Bonfire for one, please. Like, totally cool. Yeah.
I
Playing
don't
my
mind
phone.
having a little bonfire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
listen to a
have
little
fun.
music. Yeah, but it'll be nice once we can all get back together and have bonfires with our friends again.
With our friends, drinking in the same vicinity.
Soon enough, everybody keep up the good work. Keep doing stuff like this, little podcasting remotely and all that kind of stuff. Don't go out unless you have to.
Agreed. Don't do nothing unless you have to.
And don't take your time in public places like stores.
Right. Make a
Like,
list.
Yeah, get your ass in there, get the hell out.
Make a list and get everything all at once and then go. And don't go back for an exceptionally long period of time.
I'm super paranoid about going to the grocery stores though. Like, it's freaking me out. Like, I'll sit in my car and just be like, oh, I don't want to go in there. I don't want somebody to cough on me. I don't want to do it.
I know, it's
wanna do
scary.
it.
And I sanitize everything I bring home.
Yeah.
And, I wear I don't have a mask, but I wear a bandana because I feel like maybe anything helps.
But so I guess the latest thing I saw was that, a cloth thing does not stop a virus.
It doesn't.
So what the fuck is the point? I'm just wearing it so that everybody feels safer around me wearing a cloth mask. It's like, this is
I don't
stupid.
know.
This is dumb.
Well,
You
the ones that they're
gotta
having
have
people
one that's
make
good.
has a pocket for a filter to go into.
Right.
So that's the whole, if you can get your hands on the filters,
The filter is what makes it.
that's the key, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
So I guess
we'll see.
my little skull mask is no good. It
Whatever,
looks
I've been
cool.
wearing a bandana anyway.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll show you. Take a sip of your wine.
I literally just did. I'll do it again. And again. I should just chug it.
You kind of should.
I should just chug it. All right. There wasn't much to chug. So just pour more. Oh yeah, and they're all like, everyone don't drink too much because it weakens your immune system. And I'm just like, challenge accepted. Because I don't think I can just go without drinking. I might have a
I
problem.
mean, I'm good. It definitely
I love
makes
it.
people. It definitely makes people stay away from me. But like, this isn't stopping any virus from getting into me.
No.
And if I've got it, it's not keeping anybody else safe around it. It's basically just like, stay the fuck away from me because I'm wearing a scary mask, I think.
I was at a grocery store relatively recently, not super recently, but relatively recently. And there was an alarming amount of people still shopping all at once and walking right behind each other and all up in each other's space. It didn't make any sense. I was like, what are we not understanding about the distance thing?
Right. Well, and that's what I'm saying too, is I'm paranoid to go because usually I don't like grocery shopping when it's busy. Nobody does, right? So I would do my grocery shopping at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. because the Meijer was 24/7. now they're closed at 10 o'clock every night so that workers can come in and restock and clean everything. And then they want you to wait for a couple hours in the morning to let the older folks go and have first dibs. And I'm totally cool with that.
I'm all about that. Yeah.
But now it's like anytime you try and go, it's busy because everybody is shopping. And it's one of the only places that they're left to still go. I'm just like, I try not to be anxious about stuff, but
I have really bad anxiety issues, so I get all like weirded out and paranoid and everything. It's just like going in there made me super, super nervous. I really didn't want to go.
Yeah.
I tried to like get everything I could possibly get all in one go, but it's
Smart.
like at the same time they're out of like staple items that I'm like, I really need this, and so now I'm gonna have to come back, or I tried to do the order ahead thing, and it was like due for like a week and a half later.
Yeah.
Like I can't wait a week and a half to get some fucking bread. Like I don't have any. I need it now.
Right, and you can't buy flour and just make your own bread because the flour's all out too.
And there's like a yeast shortage.
Yep.
And stuff. It's like, what are you supposed to even do?
Let them eat
It ain't
cake.
right.
I don't know. The last time I went grocery shopping, I did not have a mask. It was like some people were wearing masks, but they weren't saying everybody has to. So I'm going to try it wearing this bad boy, and hopefully people just stay the fuck away from me. Like, he looks scary. It's like, yeah, I am. But I'm glad I bought this thing. Like, I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it because of the pandemic. I've had it for a while. I was like, oh, mask? I got a mask for you. I'm good on that. It's not going to do anything, but you can't drink with the mask on now.
Oh, no. You have to, like, roll it up. Do it from underneath.
Well, that's the cool thing about it is, like, you can just wear it, you just keep it, it's always around my neck, and then I just pull it up. So it's very easy to use. And, like, I don't get the people wearing masks in their cars by themselves.
Yeah,
Kinda
I
odd
don't get
to
that
me.
either.
That's really
I saw
weird.
a couple people like that.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing?
Or they're like
It's just
driving with gloves, and I'm like, you touched Corona, and then you got into your car and touched the car. Like, doesn't make any sense.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
How any of this works.
No, dude. We're finding out a lot about humanity these last couple of weeks. And the next couple of weeks are going to get even weirder.
Even weirder.
Even
I agree.
wilder.
It's super weird.
I really hope that we can be done with social distancing, at least for the most part, like by the middle of the summer, end of the summer, like so that there is still time to go camping, to go, tubing and kayaking and
I know, what a
all that
terrible
kind of fun
time of
stuff
year
that
to
we
have a
miss.
pandemic. Couldn't have had it in the wintertime.
Well,
Suck.
I mean, it kind of was. It was like the end of the winter, beginning of spring kind of thing. But now it's starting to eat into all of our spring, and you can tell people are going stir crazy.
Yeah.
The weather's getting nice, and everybody's like, I want to go outside.
I do want to go outside.
I do actually.
Well, have you gone for walks and stuff?
Yeah.
You're allowed to go for a walk.
Yeah, I take my dogs for walks and stuff.
There you go.
It's not bad, but I want to like go to movement and
Right.
be around people and see DJs I really like, and
hug everybody
and hug people.
Yes, give your friends hugs. So sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
Everything's moved, but at least it just got moved and not canceled. But I have a feeling that some things are going to be like straight up canceled for the year.
Yeah, like how are they gonna get everything back? How is
There's no way they can't. I mean,
smashed into certain
we don't know when this is going to be over. So it's like you guys are like moving it to a random date, and then you're going to move it to another random date. Like you don't know when this is all going to be back to normal.
Yeah, normal.
Because we all know it's not going to go back to normal. Yeah, I'm touching my face.
I just washed my.
We don't know what normal is even going to be like anymore.
Yeah, it's gonna be different.
And if this goes on for much longer, I'm sure that an ungodly amount of bars and restaurants and stuff aren't even going to reopen ever.
That's what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was leading up to. Is they're just gonna go out of business. That being said, maybe there'll be some cheap foreclosures to jump on, and we could finally own our own bar.
Own our own bar. Yeah.
Maybe. That's my main problem with the industry, is working for other people that don't know what the fuck they're doing or do shit shady or do shit wrong. It's like, I could run a place, but I'm sure I'm not the first bartender to have thought that.
Right.
If I got my own place, things would be different. And they're not.
Worse.
We'll see.
It's actually, yeah, I was about to say just worse.
Yeah.
Altogether.
Because then you've got all the
We
stress
have the dirtiest bar,
Yeah.
not even designed for bartending, really.
Yep.
Like limited glassware,
Ugh,
all just broken all the time.
stupid glassware. Stupid damn glassware.
Sit down somewhere.
Well, one of the last places I worked,
on.
we were constantly low on glassware because the place was so huge, and then they would stack them up, and they would constantly chip them by stacking them. And they're like, "Oh, it's just cheap glass," and it's like,
Dumb.
it's cheap glasses, but it's like you can't do it that fast and keep chipping them. Like all the barbacks would do it, all the bartenders would do it.
As soon as
It's
there's
like,
a chip, you gotta throw it away.
absolutely. I would throw away 7 or 8 glasses a day there, a shift. I'm like, no wonder we're always running low on, like, people should just use plastic. It's so
Yeah.
stupid.
Or that like Everlast, whatever glassware.
Yeah, well, I mean, like pint glasses, they make the thicker kinds that are better and don't chip. So yeah, I get it, but still, it's like, just stack them the correct way. You can stack them without fucking clinking them together.
Plastic after 10 o'clock.
We used to do that, Snookers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we used all plastic.
Yeah,
We saw plastic all the time, right?
Yeah, after a while.
Okay,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's it.
it's
We use
expensive.
glass
It's
and metal
definitely not good
cans
for the
after that
environment.
plastic.
I get it. There's a lot of negatives with plastic cups.
Okay, but they have like that Everware where it's like they're like plastic. You can literally chuck them across the room and they won't break.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
and washable?
Yeah.
Huh.
You've never seen those?
No.
Oh, we used them at like 3 places that I worked at. They were
Really?
like, yeah, they're like, they look like regular glassware. They're shaped the same, everything like that. They have bevel bottoms, everything. But they're like made, it's like, I think it's called Everware or like Duraware or something like that. But it's like this thick, like unbreakable, not unbreakable, but unbreakable plastic. And you could literally chuck those things across the room. We use
No
them
shit.
a lot in like nightclubs because obviously people drop their drinks and shit all the time in like packed
Right.
nightclubs. But every nightclub I've ever worked at, minus like 1 or 2, has always had that shit.
I've never even heard of it before. Well, if one of our listeners knows exactly what it's called and can elucidate us, please do something in the comics. Throw a little comment up there, and we'll get to the bottom of this caper, Scooby-Doo.
And they make them in like pint glasses. They make them in like every type of glass.
Really
So,
awesome. That's smart.
Yeah, smart shit. They have
See,
like
that's
little
what
shot glasses and shit.
That's what a smart bartender does, is they get out of the industry by inventing something new for the industry that's never been invented before. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then just sit back and count your money and go, remember when I was a bartender? Yeah, that was fun.
Or by starting their own bar and like just hiring people to bartend for them. That's how we're going to get out of it. We're going to be in the service industry without being in the service industry.
Strip club. Let's own a strip club.
I'm all right with owning a strip club. Can I be the house mom?
You can be the house mom.
Please.
Be a good house mom.
I'd be such a good house mom. I loved our house mom. I loved her. She would bring like fucking fried chicken and like pasta salad and shit like that. You could like make a dish down there, like everything. I was
That's
not a
awesome.
stripper. I was a bartender.
Yeah, I know this.
Let's make that
Yeah,
clear.
make it
Make
clear
sure
to
all
all
the
of our
listeners out there
listeners.
know, too.
I was not a stripper. I was a bartender. But you still had to get dressed in the quarters.
Right. Oh, you still knew the house mom. You knew all the girls, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right.
Nothing against
So-
strippers because I think sex work is work. Just gotta throw that out there.
Absolutely. You
Not
be
good
the
for me.
house. You be the house mom, but you got to
House
keep all
mom.
keep the strippers away from me. I don't want nothing to do with them. All right. Nothing to do
Yeah,
with
you'll
the
just get yourself in trouble if you're in charge of the strippers.
Exactly. Like I'll own the bar. I'll come in and check up on stuff every once in a while.
House dad.
But yeah, but I'm not dating any of them. I'm not hanging out with any of them.
You're the house dad. You're not like gonna fuck around with any of them because you're their father.
Exactly.
Not their daddy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have daddy issues. Why are they strippers
Not their
in the first
daddy.
place if they don't have daddy issues? Like, isn't that kind of how it works? No, some of them just do it for the money. I've known girls who just like put themselves through college, or bought themselves a nice car, owned a nice house.
I know girls that like
gonna do it for
genuinely
a few years,
enjoy
get out.
doing it and are really good
Yeah.
at it and don't do
Yeah.
extras and stuff, and they make fuck tons of money because they're just good at what they do. I go into strip clubs all the time and I see these girls and they're like, on the pole doing like one of these.
Yeah, like they're there to make their $150 and go home for the night, and they don't want to be there.
I want to see you smile and enjoy being up there and like look sexy and enjoy that. You are a fucking goddess. Go up there and have a great time.
Yeah.
For real.
Exactly.
For real.
Own it. Work it, girl. Own it.
It's
All my
true.
strippers out there. A lot of love for you. lady.
Actually, speaking of strip clubs, that was the answer, right? To your what job did you not have?
Yes. Yeah, the big poll. I
Strip club DJ.
did a fun Facebook poll where I listed all the random crazy ass jobs. Did 15 jobs that I've had in my life, and one of them was a fake, and it was a strip club DJ. And that's honestly, like, I knew that would be a good one because it's plausible. You could see me being a strip club DJ, like,
Yeah,
Remy's
you've got the
probably done
voice.
that. Yeah, Remy's probably
Cinnamon,
done
you're
that.
on in two. Cinnamon.
Yeah, hey there, guys. Don't be stingy with those dollars, guys. Reach deep in those pockets. Give it up for Cherise. Is that how I say it? Right?
Get ready for the pretty
Cherise.
parade.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All the cheese ball lines, like playing a bunch of cool songs from. See, now back when I used to go to strip clubs in the like late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s was like my heyday for going to the strip clubs. It was all that like hair metal music from the 80s that the strippers danced to. So that's when it would have been fun to be a strip club
Like
DJ.
all the girls wanted to dance to like, she's my chicken pie.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a pretty awful example, but like some of the music was tailor-made for strippers, let's just say. I couldn't do it anymore because I can't stand popular music these days, and that's all they want to dance to. At least a year and a half ago, the last time I was in a strip club or so.
What would your song be if you were Magic Mike in it?
If I was Magic Mike, I would probably just, I don't know, man, like dance to Slayer, probably. Slayer. I have no idea. I've never thought about it. Like, you've obviously never seen me with my shirt off. Like, I am not stripping material.
Come on, I believe in you.
Well,
I think
thanks.
you could Magic Mike it.
I could. I just don't like sit-ups.
Yeah. Well, neither do I.
Right.
I just do my 12-ounce curls. Take a beer.
Yeah. Same. No, I had some bouncer friends that were talking about working out one day. I was like, yeah, I've never been into going into the gym. And he's like, yeah, I can tell. Like, pretty fucking obvious.
Oh, thanks. That's really nice of you.
It's not a full-on dad bod, but it's getting there. We're working on it.
Not as chiseled as you once were, huh?
No, I was never chiseled. I was skinny, but I'm never chiseled. No. Wiry a little bit, Actually, yeah, when I worked for the moving company, when I drove the truck and worked for the moving company, which is another job that I had on that list, I was in pretty good shape. But I was still like, never liked sit-ups, never liked push-ups, just moving furniture. So it was like, you don't get like good definition. You don't get like those gym muscles, that washboard abs and stuff like that from doing that kind of work. You just get strong.
Right.
Yeah. No definition, just strength. Still got it.
The smallest I ever was, I was always a pretty small girl, but the smallest I ever was I totally accounted to just running up and down bars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's like I didn't work out, I didn't do anything for that. I ate insane amounts of food, but I was just running back and forth on really long bars all the time.
Yeah, I
So-
love working a long ass bar like that. That's great, you know.
Me
back
too.
Back and forth, hustling. You're constantly moving, but like as long as they have good mats back there for you, keep your feet nice and cushy. Yeah, I've worked at some good ones like that. The Hard Rock downtown was a good one like that.
Yeah, I didn't really like just being on one side of the bar. Like at Necto, that's how we had it. It was like each person had like a designated spot, and it was
Right.
like, you know, you were always there every week kind of thing, which I like that. That's how it was with like Luna and Orchid, was like you had designated spots, but the girls would just like cross over each other a lot.
Yeah.
And it would get so annoying because like I'd be like, okay, you're on my side because you have nobody, but now you're like dealing with all the people on my side,
Right.
and your side is like filling up. So now I'm on your side. Like just stay in your spot.
Yeah,
Just
stay
stay
in the
there.
lane, bro.
We're splitting
Stay in the lane.
tips. Just stay there. I'm literally
front.
paying you to do nothing.
Right. This is my area.
Stay out of my
I don't
fucking
care if
spot.
you're not busy. Right. Or, you know, like if you see that I'm in the weeds and you're standing over there doing nothing, like throw up your hand, wave people
Right.
over. Come on.
Okay, but don't come all the way on the
Or
other
wait
side
here.
of me. Come to the people closest to like where you and I split an area,
Yeah,
and
no.
I'll move down. You know what I
No.
mean?
It's
Like that way we don't end up. You're on
You're
one
fucking up
side
the
and now
rotation.
I'm on the other.
Yeah,
Fucking
totally fucking up the
noobs.
rotation.
Noobs. Fucking noobs.
Like that's not how this works. Not how any of this works. Oh. No, the nightclub I worked at is like I had my spot. Everybody had their own little spot, and I had mine. But like I would have to share my well with noobs all the time. It was like
Yeah.
they would have people come and train next to me because like there was a little more. There was like a couple of extra inches at my well, you know, where you could spread out. But it was annoying. You know, it was like you gotta time it just right. I would get them into the habit of it. You know, it's like stay behind, try and be ringing something up while I'm making a drink, and then when I'm ringing somebody up, you're making a drink. That way we can just kind of go back and forth. You get like your little rhythm going.
Right.
They were always cute girls that they hired and had me train, but they were just cute girls. It was like no bartending experience.
No actual experience or like skill level whatsoever.
Some of them it took a little while. Some of them were better than others. Some of them we had a blast with, you know.
I mean, I would get stuck with girls like that too, like where they would be like, all right, you know, you're gonna train this girl. Actually, they wouldn't even tell me I was training her. They would just put her next to me, and I would be like, oh, like maybe I don't work with you because at Luna and Orchid, you work at both places,
Right.
and they might be like, you predominantly work at Orchid, but sometimes they'll send you to Luna or like whatever. So there would be times where I'd work with somebody and I'd be like, I've never met this person, but we've been working together for 3 years. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Right,
I've
yeah.
never met them. So sometimes I would think, oh, this is somebody that's filling in, you know, they've been working here for 3 years, they're filling in or whatever. And then I'm with them. And then they're like, oh, I've never worked here before. And I'm like, oh shit, well, that's probably why you're like real fucking slow and get the fuck out of my way.
Oh,
You know?
Lord.
Just
That
go
is
stand
funny.
over there. I
Yeah.
got it.
I got this. You're
You
doing more
talk to
harm
people
than
and
good.
explain to them it's your first day and ha 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 and cute, all that shit, and I'll take care of the bulk of it. You
Yep.
know?
Yeah, exactly. You can make a couple of shots. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, you can mold them.
Yeah, I mold them to what you want them to be.
You know, but when I first got into bartending, it was like, all right, how do you make a cosmopolitan? Do you know what I'm saying? Like they
Yeah.
would quiz you during the interview. Like
Yeah.
if you don't have experience, you're not fucking working here.
You have to
You
know
know.
how to make something.
You're
You
right.
got to know what to do. So I
You
bullshitted
shouldn't
my
be
way.
asking me during your training how to make a Long Island or where the premix is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no.
Not how it works. Who
No.
hired you? Who hired these people? Well, you can't keep good help these days. It's hard to find good help. It's hard to keep good help. So you got to hire somebody and take a chance on them. Like, well, at least she's cute. At least he's good looking. Like,
Yep.
we'll train them how to make drinks.
Hi, Dave.
He's just smiling.
He's back.
I look down and Dave is like grinning. So I'm like, all right. What are you drinking?
Just a vanilla vodka and Verner's.
Ooh, that sounds
Sounds good.
good.
I've been doing a lot of experimenting.
Vodka and Red Bull, huh?
I did drink a lot of Red Bull last night,
Yeah.
giving my heart the night off.
Smart
That's
man.
probably a good idea.
Well, and like I said, I mean, I'm experimenting a lot when I'm down here because I mean, it's it's been a minute since I've actually really been behind the bar, and so I'm just playing with shit.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, vanilla
like
vodka
that.
and Verner's good choice though. That's a nice.
So hey,
Oh,
I do have to get you guys to wind up because I got to get us ready to start our show.
We can do
For sure.
that. Thank you guys
right.
all for tuning in tonight. I hope you had a great time. We got to some campfire stories, some camping stories, some macaroni and cheese
I got
stories.
a ton of comments on your video. You should make sure you go back and look at them and reply to people.
We're gonna do that.
Yeah, definitely we'll do that. Also, send us your own stories if you have something crazy, fun, or wild that happened to you at a bar, while you were working at a bar, security at a bar. I don't give a fuck what it is. Send it to us at barsidetales@gmail.com.
Hell yeah. We'll see you guys next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.